Do you feel like current AAA games lack something as of late? Creativity? Innovation? Polish? Or perhaps, in the metaphysical sense, a soul? I spent 590 hours playing this game for one achievement. And, instead of quitting, I'm here to tell you why it might be one of the greatest games ever made. What's up everyone, Elster here. If you've been around the channel, you know I'm just a guy who's been grinding the Binding of Isaac content. What started as a self-imposed contract turned into a 590 hours odyssey. And after surviving the pilgrimage, I now feel morally obligated to spread the gospel of this game. Do stick around, because reason number 5, that one is gonna hit like the final boss transition. Let's begin. Accessibility. In my profession, they say high blood pressure is a silent killer. But in reality, the real mass murderer is actually inflation. Isaac is gaming's equivalent of a comfort food, if one might say so. What is originally born as a flash game, The Binding of Isaac was designed for a quick, low commitment kind of fun. Flash games live and died by one philosophy. It's simple to start, but it's hard to stop. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth is the reborn form with the same DNA, and this design blueprint actually matters a lot. The low graphical demands mean that the game can run on almost anything in existence. So we're talking a budget laptop, a handheld that's been collecting dust, or maybe your office PC that's not being used during lunch. We promise we won't tell anyone. From Nintendo Switch to Steam Deck or even mobile workarounds, the barrier to entry is basically non-existent at this point. We've seen this trajectory before, so the humble flash hit like Visual, it grew into a global phenomenon, cementing the idea that accessibility isn't just convenience, it's longevity. And Isaac has definitely mastered that formula. But accessibility alone does not make a game good, or great, or best, unless it respects your time, of course. Thus, time autonomy. So here's the paradox about Isaac. It respects your time, but then quietly steals it. Or unless you give it away for some reason or another. An early run takes about 20 or 30 minutes. That's actually perfect for the average working adult's limited leisure window. But as you unlock the deeper routes, such as the Womb, Sheol, Cathedral, alternate paths, the Void, the Ascent, a single run can stretch way past 90 minutes, or maybe even more actually. It's the ultimate choose-your-own commitment system. Casual players, they get quick dopamine hits. But dedicated players, they get deep, escalating challenges. It's actually the roguelike equivalent of just one more episode, and suddenly it's 2 AM and you start to wish, if only jobs everywhere can make you experience time that's similar to Binding of Isaac. In life, we need some spices to celebrate the variations, the differences. So how exactly is Isaac different from other AAA titles? Well, meta progression. So playing an Isaac game isn't just about winning runs actually. It's about building what we call as a universe or a microcosm. You start with a modest item pool, and over time, you unlock hundreds more across quality tiers from questionable to game-breaking. So even late into the game, the system always stays balanced. You might get a god tier relic or an absolute garbage, and that uncertainty keeps every single Isaac run alive. Some items that seem useless suddenly become meta-defining with the right character or synergy. The game rewards knowledge, experimentation, and that, oh wait, this might actually work, eureka moment. With 34 plus characters, each unlocking different rewards, the progression feels less like grinding and more like assembling the ultimate toolkit. And at the very end, What is the ultimate prize? It's the power to choose any item, the legendary death certificate. And that's not just progression, that's ascension. But then again, does picking one item really makes that much of a difference? It does in Isaac because of this next reason. Synergies. Most roguelikes nowadays scale power by numbers, so maybe you'll get something like a plus 10% damage or plus 5% lifesteal. Bigger stats. They're just like number blows. But in Isaac, it says, what if your tears become orbiting lasers that explode into homing projectiles? So this game, when it comes to synergies, it doesn't equate 1 plus 1. It's 1 times 10. Unlike many titles where the upgrades feel incremental, some even great titles like Hades, Dead Cells, Isaac transforms visually and mechanically with each combination. The items, they don't override each other. They layer, they mutate, they evolve, and they homogenize. By the late game, your character might look like a chaotic physics experiment, and somehow, it always works. Every run becomes its own ridiculous, beautiful disaster. For those who are still here, do hang around because this last reason is especially for you out there. Religious references. I mean flow state. Okay, the religious references were a joke, but this part isn't. Isaac is a masterclass in flow. That psychological state where challenges perfectly matches your skill. Early on, the game feels brutal in the most honest sense. Minimal tutorials, cryptic unlocks, zero hand-holding. It's basically the opposite of every single AAA games out there. But slowly, patterns start to emerge. Knowledge starts to build. Reflexes start to sharpen. And even hundreds of hours later, the game still surprises you. It might be a room you've never seen, or an enemy combination that forces improvisation, or a build that might just break the game. You never know. But when you overcome one of these moments, that rush stays with you for days, or even months, or in the Isaac community, years. Isaac is a tough game, for sure, no doubt about that. But it's always fair. There's no cheap difficulty spikes, there's no artificial time wasting, just pure earned mastery. Unlike infamous endurance slogs, they challenge your skill, but not your patience. As a final thought to this video, there's plenty of other reasons why fans might love Isaac. Some might say mods that extend the game's life endlessly, or the surprisingly dark and layered story behind Isaac's childish yet grotesque presentation, or just the chillest communities in gaming you've ever seen. But at the end of the day, this is just my perspective. If you agree, disagree, or maybe have your own reasons, please drop them in the comments for others to see as well. That's it from me. I leave you with a montage of me screaming, laughing, and absolutely drowning in dopamine, because if Isaac does one thing perfectly, it's turning chaos into joy. I use this. Please. Oh, I got an ultra secret in the void. I am just so insane. Over here. Flash. Okay, that's fine because it provides the oh crap transformation and what the heck is oh, so that means I can just keep playing the alabaster? That was the default. Oh my goodness! Nice. It's up to the belly jelly and go. Oh.